Imagine the narrow streets of ancient Rome filled with voices, carts, and dust. A man pushes past you, muttering an insult as he goes. Your chest tightens, heat rising in your throat. But Marcus Aurelius, walking those very same streets centuries ago, reminded himself, when someone does wrong, it is because they do not know what is right. That line comes from the 7th book of his Meditations. The truth is, we all meet these people. The coworker who cuts you down in meetings, the family member who twists your words, the stranger online who mocks you without cause. And though their words and actions can wound us, Stoicism offers a shield, not by fleeing or fighting, but by finding calm strength. Here are 7 Stoic ways to deal with toxic people. First, remember that people act from their own understanding, however flawed. Epictetus once said in the first book of his Discourses, "They are wrong from ignorance, not from malice." Think of a colleague who interrupts you constantly in meetings. Each time it feels personal, like an attack meant to humiliate you. But step back. Their actions may come from insecurity, from a restless need to be seen, rather than from any real desire to injure you. The Stoic approach is to strip the drama away and see the act clearly. Ignorance, not deliberate evil, often drives people. When you understand this, you create distance between their behavior and your peace of mind. You no longer treat their interruption as a deep wound, but as the noise of someone still learning. This clarity doesn't mean approval. It simply means you don't let their ignorance poison you. You stay calm, and in calmness, you stay strong. Once you've seen their actions as ignorance, the next step is deciding how to guard yourself against repeated harm. Our second way is to create boundaries without anger. Seneca, writing to his friend Lucilius in Letter 7, said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." Picture a friend who calls late at night, not to share joy but to unload complaints. You answer, you listen, and when you hang up you feel drained, heavy, resentful. Stoicism reminds us, you are not obliged to be everyone's sponge. Boundaries are not punishments. They are quiet shields. You don't slam the door, you simply close it. You might take longer to answer their calls or shorten the time you spend with them. You still show kindness, but you protect your own well-being. This is not rejection. It is alignment with what nourishes you. If your mind is a garden, boundaries are the fence that keeps weeds from taking over. Once you've built that fence, life will still bring challenges. That's where the third Stoic practice strengthens you. Here's a third practice. Build endurance like a muscle. Marcus Aurelius noted in Book 5 of his Meditations, "The mind adapts and converts obstacles to its own purposes." Imagine a manager who criticizes every detail of your work, not with helpful feedback but with constant cutting remarks. It wears on you. Each comment feels like another stone added to your shoulders. Yet to a Stoic, these very pressures are training weights. As a body grows stronger under resistance, the mind grows stronger when it bears hardship with composure. Every toxic remark becomes an opportunity to practice patience. Every unfair judgment becomes a chance to practice self-restraint. This shift in perspective is powerful. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "How can this strengthen me?" Instead of shrinking, you expand. Toxic people, instead of weakening you, become unwilling trainers, shaping your resilience. Their fire tempers your steel. But resilience alone isn't enough. We must also learn to master the way we respond. A fourth way is to take command of your response. Epictetus, in his short handbook called the Enchiridion, said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them." Think of an online insult. A stranger mocks your photo or your words. At first your stomach flips. You feel the urge to shoot back. But pause. The insult is only words, vibrations of sound or marks on a screen. The sting comes not from the words themselves but from the meaning you attach. When you catch yourself here, you step back into freedom. You realize, this person cannot reach into your mind unless you open the door. You can ignore, you can block, or you can reply with calm brevity. The choice is yours. To control your reaction is not to suppress your feelings, but to guide them. It is steering the horse, not letting it drag you. And when you reclaim your reactions, you stand firmly in the circle of power that the Stoics cherished most. The fifth way is to focus on what is within your control. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself in Book 8 of the Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Imagine a family dinner where a relative mocks your career choices. You feel your face flush. You cannot control their tone, nor their bitterness. But you can control your breath, the calm pace of your voice, and your decision not to escalate. That small circle of control is where freedom rests. Toxic people thrive on pulling others into their storm. If you chase what you cannot control, their attitude, their approval, their words, you are lost. But if you return to your own mind, you remain anchored. The beauty of this principle is its simplicity. You stop scattering energy where it can never bear fruit. You pour it instead into self-mastery, into the only ground that is truly yours. And when you've secured that inner ground, Stoicism invites you to rise even higher, above the entire game of petty injury. Our sixth way is to rise above pettiness. Seneca, in his work on anger, wrote, "A great mind is above injuries. Picture a neighbor who mutters insults each time you pass. They thrive on provoking you. The common reaction is to bark back, to trade wound for wound, but the Stoic does not stoop. A great mind refuses to wrestle in the mud. Rising above does not mean pretending nothing happened. It means valuing your dignity more than your pride. Pride wants to win the argument. Dignity wants to remain untarnished, so you walk by with silence or with measured courtesy. Their weapon breaks against your composure. This choice is not weakness. It is the highest strength. The toxic person cannot drag you down if you no longer play their game. And when you no longer descend into small quarrels, your heart becomes free to practice the final Stoic way, turning hostility into compassion. The seventh way is to transform anger into compassion. Marcus Aurelius began one of his meditations with this reminder. When you wake, remind yourself, today you will meet the ungrateful, the arrogant, the deceitful. Picture a cashier snapping at you with impatience. You could snap back, but instead you pause. You imagine their hidden burdens. Maybe an aching body, maybe a child sick at home, maybe grief they carry quietly. Their sharpness is not about you. It is a mirror of their struggle. Compassion here is not approval. It is refusing to mirror their hostility. You see them not as an enemy, but as another soul caught in suffering. Your calm becomes a gift, even if they cannot see it. By choosing compassion, you stop the chain of poison. You turn anger into understanding, and in doing so, you remain free. This is the heart of Stoicism, not cold detachment, but steady humanity. Think back to that Roman street. The insult thrown, the anger rising. The old way is to fight back or to stew in bitterness. The Stoic way is different. It teaches you to understand ignorance, to set firm boundaries, to grow stronger under hardship, to control your response, to focus on what you can control, to rise above pettiness, and finally, to transform anger into compassion. These are not distant ideas written in dusty books. They are daily practices, tools for the workplace, for the family table, for the digital world, for every setting where toxic people appear. When you practice them, you walk lighter, calmer, freer. You cannot stop insults, but you can stop them from ruling you. So here is the challenge. The next time you meet a toxic person, will you let them dictate your peace, or will you master yourself? Which Stoic way would you try first? Share it in the comments. I might read yours next time.